when you go abroad into a different country where they have different currency, which means different money, you will need to use a skill called scaling, which is where you can take one number and make it into another number with proportion. I'll show you what we mean. So in the past, although it is slightly different now for various reasons, in the past, when you would go to America, where they use US dollars, for every pound you had, it would be worth 2 American dollars. And so you would know that if you had £10, that would be the same as what? Can you think of that? How much would that be in American dollars? If £1 is 2 US dollars, then £10 would be 20 US dollars. And the question I want you to keep in your mind now is, what do we times by or multiply to do that? Here's another example. If £1 is $2, then £50 would be $100. So hopefully you might be able to see that very simply what we've done is we've multiplied by 2 because we've got $2 for every £1. Sometimes it might not be as simple as just doubling, but it's the same sort of principle. See if you can see what we're timesing by this time. In Canada, at one point in the past, the exchange rate was £1 to every $1.50 because Canadian dollars are a bit different to American dollars. And so if you had £2 in British money, then that would be the same as having 3 Canadian dollars. I'll give you a couple of seconds, see if you can work out any of the others and see if you can work out what we're timesing by. If you have £10, that would be the same as having 15 US dollars. If you had £5, that would be the same as having $7.50. You can see the link and you might be able to see some patterns. So for example, if you know £1, you can easily double that to get £2. Or if you know 1, you can times it by 10 to get 10. But with the more complex ones, you need to think of other ways. And essentially what we're doing here is we're timesing by 1.5. With this example that we looked at before, we were timesing by 2 because there were $2 in every pound. But in this one, we're timesing by 1.5 because there's $1.5 in every pound. So 2 times 1.5 is 3. 10 times 1.5 is 15, 5 times 1.5 is £7.50. Now the task you've got today is all about looking at Brazilian real and how that translates into pounds. You've got a task where you start with the Brazilian currency and you have to take it back to pounds. The key bit of information which you're given is that for every 5 Brazilian real, and this is the symbol for it, the R with the dollar sign, for every 5 of those, it's the same as £1. So if you're starting with that and going the other way, what would our calculation be? Let's look at an example and see if you can think about the answer to that. We're going to start with these 3. So if 5 Brazilian real is £1, then 10 would be 2. If 5 is 1, then 50 is going to be 10. I wonder if you can see what our calculation is. Before we were multiplying, we're actually doing the inverse now because we're going in reverse, so maybe you can spot what we're doing. If I had 20 Brazilian real, can you work out what that would be in pounds? Well, let's have a look. If I look here, I'm not timesing, I'm doing the opposite, I'm dividing. And I'm dividing by 5 because for every 5 Brazilian real I have, that's just £1. So I have to divide it by 5 to get my pound conversion. So 10 divided by 5 is 2, 50 divided by 5 is 10, and 20 divided by 5 would give me just £4. I left this one till last because it's going to give me a decimal answer. If you just had the 1 Brazilian real, can you work out what that would give you? What would 1 divided by 5 give you? It would give you just 20 pence, which we would write either like that or like that. There you have it.